So hello everybody and welcome to the third week of Summer School 2022, and we have a real treat for you this week. Rather than doing a selection of works or a series of pieces, we're looking at one great piece this week. It is The Lark Ascending by Ray Vaughan Williams, and I appreciate that it was written and originally designed to be a piece for solo violin and orchestra. We are learning the arrangement for solo violin and choir by the British composer Paul Drayton, and I've been in touch with Paul and I told him that we were doing this course. He sends everyone his very best wishes. He's really looking forward to hearing the final result and really excited to hear what we as Choir of the Earth come up with. And I have to say, I agree with him wholeheartedly. This is an absolutely iconic piece. For those of us who live in the UK, we've heard it so many times. And I love the fact that we're going to experience it from a different perspective, from the perspective of singers rather than audience members. And I think you'll agree, once we've gotten to know it, it will bring the whole experience to life in a new way. Now then, let's just talk about the piece itself, as we have quite a lot of jumping around to do in this great work. There are, obviously, if you have a look at the first page, everyone, we have a solo violin at the top. The violin part is always at the top because it's the lark and it's flying above all of us. Now, below that, on the very first page, you can see 8 staves, 8 lines. You've got soprano, alto, tenor, bass, solo lines, and then you have soprano, alto, tenor, bass, choir lines. There is some first and second split in all of the choral parts, and there is a first and second soprano solo split as well. Now, what I'm planning to do, everyone, is to break the piece up into 5 sections. An introduction, section 1, 2, 3, and 4. These will be chunked for you, so we're not expecting you to record the entire 15-minute piece in one take, and we will treat each section as a little piece in and of itself. So although we are looking at one work, it is effectively 5 shorter pieces. Now, as we go through, you will need to have your pencils and or your highlighters ready, because there are moments where, a bit like last week with the opera course, where the lines will jump around and you need to know which line you're on. And do feel free to write all over this score. It is yours after all, and mine is currently looking like my son has got his crayons out and drawn all over it, because some of the solo lines, as I say, can catch you by surprise. Now, musically speaking, this is not actually desperately difficult. There are some moments of challenge, of course, but I think you'll find actually the greatest challenge for this is really just knowing when to come in, not necessarily in terms of what to sing. It's very, very singable. I've sung all the lines. I think we're going to have a lot of fun. Now, what I thought we'd do is we'll start off and we'll go through, we'll stagger through the piece, and I'll explain where the various sections are. So if you could have your pencils ready, and we will enjoy a performance of this, and then once we've staggered through and marked our scores up and I've given you some general notes, we will press play on my button down here which says Lark, and we will enjoy that wonderful video that Mark Cease put together for us with all of that lovely footage of rolling hills and soaring larks. So why don't we start off with a little bit of a gentle warm-up. Can I invite you all, please, to stand up, those of you that are able to. And if you're not standing today, not a problem, but do sit up in your chair. If you are in the UK and it's hot where you are, please remember, drink huge amounts of water today and throughout the week. Stay hydrated. It's very easy when you're singing to get parched, and it's not good in the middle of a heat wave. Let's roll our shoulders around, everyone. Fabulous. And then roll them back the other way. And then up to your ears, please. Deep breath, and as you breathe out, let your shoulders fall and relax. And just gently roll your head. Splendid. Thank you very much indeed, everyone. All right, let's just have a very, very gentle. Let's just hum up those 3 notes, everyone. And again. one more deep breath. Lovely, and now we'll sing here. And again. Thank you very much indeed. These are, of course, the opening notes of this lovely, lovely piece. Now, let's sing a couple of gentle patterns. And we'll sing and again. And again. And lovely. And now we'll sing and lovely, upper semitone, and same again. Lovely, now to ah, and now just a couple of ma ma ma's after me. Ma ma ma. Lovely. Ya ya ya. Splendid. Yeah yeah yeah. Lovely. Me me me. And caw caw caw. That's a bird themed one. Ya ya ya. And one more. Ya ya ya. Thank you very much indeed. And you'll probably have gotten the impression from these chords that there's a lot of minor tonality in this piece. And the thing is, you'd be right, there are a lot of minor chords, but the overall tonality is neither major nor minor. It is what we call modal. And modes are a different kind of scale, whereas major has that sound and minor has that. Modes might sound like this. So perhaps with not the same shapes as minor chords, and what that creates is some really beautiful and very, very haunting and often very lyrical harmonies, which I think we're really going to enjoy. So everyone, if I can invite you to take a seat and get yourselves comfortable, have a sip of drink if you were just singing. It's lovely to see so many people here watching, and I hope you all enjoy this. Now, if you could have your pencils ready, those of you who have your scores at the moment, and some of you are here just to have a listen and to decide whether or not this is for you. So I will explain what's going on. At the very opening, we have an introduction, and the introduction for the choir is very simple. We have 2 bars where these chords just shift beautifully and gently and hold on that chord, and we hold that chord and stagger the breathing for a long time, for about a minute. Okay, it's a very, very long held chord over which the violin plays. Now the violin obviously in this piece represents the lark, and the name of the piece is The Lark Ascending, so you have to imagine this beautiful tiny bird darting around, flying, flitting its wings, and being completely and utterly free. And that is the point of the opening and the ending of this piece. You'll notice, although it is written out rhythmically, there is no specific tempo marking, there is no time signature that the soloist follows. It's written as what we call a cadenza, which means the soloist is completely free as the lark is. And so as we hold that chord, the lark flies and flits above us, paying no attention to us really. We're just providing the context for this beautiful, beautiful line. And at the towards the end of the second page of the score, page 4 actually in the score, we stop, and the lark plays on a little bit further and leads us on to page 5, and section 2 of the score. Now, this is the start of what I've called section 1, and section 1, everyone, runs from figure 2 through to figure 13. And what I thought we'd do is we will enjoy listening and following along from the beginning through the introduction to section 13, which is on page 10, and then we'll pause and I'll talk to you a little bit more about it. Section 1 is voiceless, wordless, I should say, and we're singing an sound, very much in the style of a full string section, playing legato, playing smoothly. So here we go, everyone, from the opening, and just call to mind a beautiful, beautiful summer's day, maybe like it is today, blue sky, beautiful rolling hills, gentle breeze, and we just see this beautiful little bird appear. Here we go. Start at page 5. Coming in a moment. And figure 2. Now we're just going to ask the lark to briefly pause on a convenient tree branch whilst we take stock of that first section. So that, everyone, is the introduction and section 1. Everything from figure 2, those are the numbers there in the boxes, to 13 is what I think of as section 1. And we're singing that to ahs and ums and ms, and just creating a beautiful texture over which the lark soars. And some of the techniques involved in the violin playing, just to say, everyone, are extraordinarily difficult. If you look at the section at the top of page 8, just after figure 8, where you see octaves written for the violin. Now, bearing in mind, a violin has 4 strings, and generally speaking, for the most part, the violins will play 1 note at a time. If they play more than 1 note, it's called double stopping, and it's extremely hard to pull that kind of sound off. And obviously Charles is the greatest at this, and that's why it sounds so effortless and so beautiful. So there we are. That is section 1, everyone. Now, section 2, we start to introduce some words. Now, of course, the words themselves were not part of Vaughan Williams' original intention, but I think they add a huge amount, better, I think, than just singing ah all the way through. Now, everyone, I want you to just be really careful here at figure 13, where section 2 starts. Section 2 is going to run from figure 13 to figure 20. Okay, 13 to 20 is section 2. And you can see here the second line down after the violin, the second line down at the bottom of page 10 is baritone solo. And at this point we start to hear more from the solos. You've probably noticed a couple of solo moments, particularly sops and altos as we went through, and we will be looking at the choir parts in the first 2 days of this week and the solo parts in the second set. So Wednesday and Thursday will be the solo parts. I would love everyone to record everything. We will have 2 versions. When we perform it, when we premiere it, I would like to actually do 2 playthroughs, one with the solos and one with the choir singing the solos, so we get the full effect. Now, so the sopranos at section 13 are the third line down, altos, tenors, basses. You can see at the side there what's going on. Now we start to introduce more words. At the beginning of it, there is lots of do's and do-do-do's, and this is to call to mind the string effect of what's called pizzicato, which of course is the plucked effect. And so although it's written as do, it's not going to be like a Swingle Sings performance. It's got that do, 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 and we'll be trying to recreate the sound of pizzicato. And so that then continues. We start to bring in some words for some of the parts towards the bottom of page 12. Sopranos, you start to actually use the word singing till his heaven fills, singing till his heaven fills. And that takes us through, everyone, onto page 13. And a few more parts. The tenors and altos also get to singing as we get then to section 3. Now, section 3 starts at figure 20. And what I think we'll do is we will enjoy section 2. So we're going to pick it up from exactly the point we left off, the bottom of page 10, everyone, figure 13. You'll hear the baritone solo. He rises. And looking forward to teaching this part enormously. So everyone, back to the bottom of page 10. This is going to be section 2, which runs from figure 13 to figure 20. Here we go. And
he rises and begins to run. He throws the silver train of sound. Silver train of sound, of lyrics and arms of praise, and reflection of
leads us into section 3. So it's a very short little section, section 2, from the bottom of 10 to the top of 13. The tricky part, I think, with this one is the flexible tempo. There's lots of changes in tempo, and we're just going to need to be really aware of where the tempo is pulling back and pushing forwards. For those of you who are wondering how we actually commissioned this, I asked Charles, the violinist, to play the most beautiful, free and musical performance that he could muster, and we have fitted our performance around him. I feel that as you would with any other performance of this, the solo is the key part, and so we are being guided by the lark, which I think is lovely. So we're now at the top of page 14 of the score, everyone, and section 3 now brings in a new idea, a change of key into F major / D minor. And so section 3 runs from figure 20 to figure 29. So this is from page 14 to the top of page 20. Here again, just be aware there's quite a lot of work for solo, particularly on page 14. The main choir comes in at the bottom of 15. Any sopranos who are looking at the top of page 14, by the way, at 20 and thinking those top A's look a little bit tricky, it's going to be a first soprano note, both of those, just be aware. So we follow that through, and just note, everyone, there's quite a lot of solo going on, so be aware of where your line is throughout this next section. And here we have more of the words, singing till his heaven fills, and a few more of the sort of orchestral effects. We bring in some of the lovely ideas, 'tis love of earth that he instills, and then that takes us to figure 29. So from the top of 14, everyone, page 14, figure 20, I'm just going to take it back just a fraction so we get that lovely trill from the violin. So here we go, everyone, from the top of page 14, this is section 3. Here we go. So it's the alto solo. Figure 21, baritone. Figure 22, tenor solo. All the solos. Here comes the choir, and figure 23. Figure 24. 25. 26. 28. 'And just stopping there just before figure 29. So that's a moderately tricky section. It's got some challenge for us, and of course in every week there has to be something for us to get our teeth into. That's going to push our rhythmic and our melodic work, I think, into a new level, really. There's some really great moments there for all of us to sing, but there will be some work needed to get it all sounding absolutely lovely. And then from figure 29, everyone, which is the top of page 20, through to the end, this is section 4. And you'll notice as you go through, there are far more words here. Our valley is his golden cup, he the wine which overflows, till lost on his cereal rings in light, and then the fancy sings. Beautiful, beautiful poetry. And this is a particularly gorgeous ending to the piece. And as I've already said, the lark itself although it's been flying alongside us throughout this piece, we sing those last beautiful chords, these lovely. And the lark flies off, leaving us all the better for having spent some time with us. So let's go from figure 29 at the top of page 20. And after this, we'll have a full playthrough. I won't do any talking. We'll have that lovely video up on screen, and you can experience the full majesty of this glorious work. So from figure 29, everyone's going to go straight in and do enjoy. Here we go. Soprano. Double stopping here. Figure 31. Figure 33. Figure 35. you are, everyone. The lark has flown off for now, but he'll be back in a moment and will fly along with us again. This time without any pauses or any stopping to talk about anything. I think we should just enjoy the full piece. Now, for those of you who've just popped in today to decide whether or not to do this course, I hope you will consider being part of this. The sound of this is unlike anything else that we've learnt, and I think it's going to be one of those great performances that we all look back on and are immensely proud of. And it's one of those pieces that hasn't been performed very often by choirs. It's not very often you get a soloist of this magnitude, of this talent and skill, to be able to pull this off. So I'm so excited about this week, and I'm so looking forward to getting started. Obviously, we've got sopranos and basses today, and looking forward to seeing the tenors and altos tomorrow. The plan, if we can keep to it, is to do all the choral parts in the first rehearsal of the week and then the solo parts in the second. There might be a bit of overlap just because there's quite a lot to do. But overall, I'm so looking forward to it. It's going to be, I think, a very gentle week. We're going to have time to go into some detail and look at the exact sounds I want from you, and to really get to know this piece in a completely unique way. So huge thanks to all of you. Let's have a look at this gorgeous video that Mark Cease prepared for us last week, full of gorgeous pictures and scenes of larks having fun, larks larking, and gorgeous rolling hills to symbolise the ascent as well. So here we go, everyone. Do enjoy. Back to the beginning. Quick sip of drink if you were singing. And I might suggest, it's entirely up to you, but I might suggest just follow the score and enjoy the overall sound of it. We're going to get to singing it very shortly, but let's enjoy the sound of the wonderful lark ascending. Here we go. I'm pressing the lark button now. Enjoy.
He rises and begins to run. He throws the silver chain of sound. Silver chain of sound, of many links without a thread.
There you are, everyone. The lark has once again ascended, and so have we. Some of the comments during that performance were just stunning. Christine has written, "This earthbound mortal has truly been lifted to the heavens this morning." Thank you. Christine, you are so welcome. Thank you to all of you for coming to the launch. I do hope those of you who were perhaps, as the lark might be, on the fence somewhat, well, I hope you will ascend with us and soar throughout the week, learning that piece, recording it for us. There are definitely challenges involved, but we have, without doubt, learned far harder technically pieces in the last couple of years, but I don't think we've ever learnt anything quite as beautiful as that. So looking forward to seeing sopranos in about 10 minutes time, and then basses later on today, altos and tenors tomorrow, and we're going to try our best to get through as much of the main chorus parts in the first 2 days, and then anything left plus the solos we will look at in the second 2 days, and then I will see you all together on Friday, where at that point we will enjoy another full rendition of the piece, and hopefully we will have our wings well and truly strong enough to fly after that. So enjoy your week, everyone. Do please stay cool if you are in the UK. Lots and lots of drinks throughout the week to just make sure you stay hydrated. Can I just take this opportunity to thank hugely the Fieri Consort for getting this done in record time and so exquisitely. And of course, can we thank our lark, Mr. Charles Mutter, with whom I'm speaking this evening. I shall pass on all of your thanks to him, and I will be recording the Zoom chat and sharing it all with you, hopefully, maybe, possibly by the end of the week, so you can get a real insight into this gorgeous work from the point of view of the lark himself. But in the meantime, everyone, enjoy the rest of your day. Sops, I'll see you in a few minutes, and take care. All the very best, folks. Bye-bye.